Welcome back, anglers. I'm the Survivalist, and we return to Call of Wild the Angler. We're just into our relook of the game with it having... The console releases out, and so the PC version had gotten some updates a little while ago, and we're checking out to see how the tutorial and stuff has changed, and probably go a little further to see what other adjustments have been made too. We've just started onto the Taylor's Tackle Academy to try to see what differences are there. And this one, it's supposedly going to walk us through a little bit more of like the different fishing styles and stuff we have to work with. So we'll see what it offers. One thing though that I believe the game still does not have is a way for you to change the time of day manually. You have to let it slowly roll through its day cycle as it will, which was one of the big things I had against the game. Because with certain species being more nocturnal, you had no real way of being able to go after them, unless you could either find a multiplayer game that had it at night, or you had to leave the game running long enough to eventually cycle over. So I think that's still an issue, or still part of the game that's present, but we'll see with some more time. Float fishing uses... Okay, but yeah, we're into the float fishing here. Uses a float, a hook, and some bait. Once bait is in the water, float remains on surface and acts as an indicator if fish is nibbling or biting. Nothing bites after a few minutes, you can try reeling in, casting in a different location. So it wants us to go back to the bloodworm. Yeah, that's all done. Okay, and basically just go and catch a fish with that. Yeah, I do remember that the tutorials could also be very finicky in the base game, because it would be something like, you would have all the equipment ready, but you would have to, like, almost unequip what you had, then re-equip, or do the real specifics of actually buying it right from the shop and equipping everything again proper. Oh, there's that all done. We'll release that as instructed. Hook depth. The hook depth is a measure of the distance between the float and hook. It can be changed before cast by using the up and down on the D-pad. Lower hook depth allows bait to reach slightly deeper areas in the water, luring out fish or swimming deeper, hiding in nooks and crannies. Truthfully, I don't know if that actually became something that actually like had an impact on the fish you were catching. Like, it kind of makes me wonder if it was like Ultimate Fishing Simulator in a way, where as much as it gives you these ways of changing the hook's depth and that in the water table, I don't know if it really had an impact on the species you would be catching in areas. It might have been one that's more like a smoke and mirror trick where it makes you think it does, but in all honesty, who knows for certain. It might be something that maybe it has changed with this console release and the updates that have come to the game since I last touched it, but we'll see in time. Well, there's a silver black crappie, but we'll send that back out. Okay, well done. You've learned about float fishing, baits, and hook depth. Next class covers hook sizes and building your own rig. It'll be available upon completion of a challenge. Okay, so we got a little bit more experience there. So we got a new challenge started, or a new mission started, which is just catch 5 fish. Simple enough. So we'll just keep going at it for a while. But I do wonder, something that never really came into play much when I was playing the Angler before was like how you would use the rod, or like how you would hold or that. There hasn't been anything to mention like trying to pump the rod in order to reel in the fish any easier that in a fight or that. So maybe it'll come with a bit of time. But I do admit, so far tutorials, they have been going pretty smooth. It's going to be when it comes to like the specific species, because that's where we hit more of the bumps and things. Where it was like, you'd go to a specific spot trying to catch a fish, but it seemed like they wouldn't be present at all around where it was marked or indicated, or if they were, it had to be like nightfall or something, where if you are limited on your time to play, that could be a little problematic for trying to get done. Our first bronze yellow perch. Toss that back. But yeah, it is... Oh. Okay, a little hang up here, and I don't know... Okay, actually, I think I had a whole hang up in general. Not just a hang up, a little crash. So, give me a moment and we'll get things back on track. Okay, we're back after that little crash there. So I'm not exactly sure what triggered the crash to happen. I can't remember if I had them commonly when it came to the angler or not. But we'll just have to keep playing along and see how common or not they might be. I don't know if it's something where, as the updates have gone along and there may have been, like, tweaks to the graphics or things, that maybe that's, like, kind of caused a bit of an issue for me trying to run the game, or if maybe I just don't have my video drivers updated far enough for it, but yeah, I gotta admit, I was a bit surprised to have that as happen to us. But we'll try to get the rest of the episode done, hopefully without any more crashes, and keep going through the tutorial stuff here. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure what caused it. I don't know if it was, again, just a specific aspect of trying to render caused a hold up or everything, but I noticed the capture, the entire computer slogged for a moment there, so I'll have to see in editing how that changed or like how bad the footage became there, but it was interesting to have happen. I'm hoping it's like just a freak thing that we'll not run into for like weeks again, but not the best sign to crash super early in. But again, I don't know what I can contribute to, so I'm not going to put any blame on it like being an update or the game or anything. I'm just going to keep trying and hope that we don't run into any more. And there's another one. Again, with the gear we've got, it's all just going to be these little things, but I mean, it is tutorial stuff, so we might as well try our best and see about just trying to get all of it done as quick as possible. Is there... Okay, I can't actually change the camera while I'm in that view. But, like, across the water, almost looks like there's a heat mirage you can see. Which is... I mean, I guess it kind of would happen, given this Golden Ridge, I think, is set in the Rocky Mountains somewhere? The summers there would get hot enough that I could see, like, on top of the water surface there being a heat mirage looking across it. But we just gotta get one more fish, and then we'll be good to have the challenge done and on to the next little step of the Tackle Academy. So let's just hope it goes by pretty quick, and then we can see what the next step of it is. Given there's only, like, the two main kinds of fishing, where it's float fishing and spin casting or spin fishing, we'll probably be moving into spin fishing, and maybe it'll go over a few of the different techniques that you use for that. But we'll have to see in a little bit now that this is done. Yeah, okay, so that's the 5 fish caught. Back to the challenge board. I'll just take a sprint there and then see about the next step. We'll go walking through all the pretty flowers. Okay, let's see here. Okay, yeah, we've got... There's fishing challenges there, but... Hang on a minute, something's a bit different. From what... They changed a few things around, because how it used to be is there was a billboard closer to right here that would have, like, the individual species you would be going after. That's gone now. They changed this area up a bit, so that's no longer a thing. So, is it just that they redid the tutorial a little bit that... I'm curious to see how this goes further along, because some of these... Yeah, I'll have to see how it goes along, because they... Feels like they might have done something a bit different, but not as different as I thought. Okay, so this class discusses the relevance of gear strength and hook size. After building a rig with some new gear, you'll head to another location to learn about hook sizes. Stronger gear allows you to reel in larger and stronger fish. Strong line withstands more tension, but requires stronger rod and reel to be compatible and effective. Yeah, so rod menu. Okay, so we want rods. Rod builder. And this is the rod builder where you can set up your own tackle, select an equipment slot, and choose the floating rig, or float fishing rig style, and use equipment given for the class to build a new rig. And, okay, you actually have to buy more slots. Okay, well, it says there are 3 technical rigs, but it really is just float and spinning. So that, we do only have, like, the single things we can use. So that has max drag of 2 and strength of 2 kilograms, so this should work for it. I remember that was one thing when I was trying to build up a rigger, that it seemed like it was gonna be a bit difficult when it came to... Okay, that's done. That's done. Okay, feels like those steps should have been a little better seen, although... Okay, on looks of it, we've got to go traveling a little ways. There we go. I was trying to figure out why I couldn't call that. Now I call the car. Right, so where is it? Ah, there you are. Yeah, now we'll see how the driving goes. Okay, driving is using by right trigger accelerate, left and right, and left trigger is our brake. Yeah, see, now that I have the sensitivity of actually using a trigger over the mouse and keyboard for using acceleration, it's much easier controlling the vehicle and driving with it. You didn't have to have the 2 speeds of either always flooring it or going nowhere at all. But I wonder if there was enough people, like, having issues when it came to, like, the individual species that they decided, okay, it's better off, let's scrap the, going after, like, the individual species right at the start, and more so just getting, like, more depth given to, how to set up the rod and the tackle academy. I could see that being a thing, because... Oh, sounds like I hit a bird. You know what? I'm going to keep driving. We'll worry about getting, like, the lookout towers, well, if we do worry about them at another time. I'd like to try to get through more of the tutorial steps, just so that we were further along and through that little area. But yeah, driving is much better with controller. Again, the game feels like it was entirely built with controller in mind, and maybe the initial Steam computer release was just to get the hook, or get the early access bugs and kinks out to prepare for console launch. Small fish, small hooks. Hook sizes range from 10 smallest and increase in size as the number lowers. After size 1, hooks continue to increase in size, but name convention changes, going from 1/0 to 2/0, 3/0, etc. Example, size hook 4 is larger than size hook 8, and a 3/0 hook is larger than a size 1/0. As a rule of thumb, small fish can only be caught with small hooks. However, you might also only occasionally attract big fish. However, you might also occasionally attract a big fish with a small hook. Alright, there we go. Exit the car. So we need to catch a fish with a size 10 hook on a float fishing rig. I'm trying to remember, how did I get the quick menu? Oh, there we go. And... Yeah, so we need to... Okay, actually, I better make sure that this is a hook size of 10 for it. Yeah, that's a 10. Okay. Actually, let me increase the depth a bit. There we go. And we'll see how we do here. But this is actually the spot that the game used to send you in order to catch the mountain whitefish. And I remember I had a hell of a time trying to catch one here. I think I spent like a couple of weekends, if not more, for the series until we finally got lucky and it was like beyond the bridge or right underneath the bridge. We managed to get one to finally clear out that mission in order to get a new one to go after. But we'll have to see as we go along how it's changed up. I don't know if maybe there is going to be like individual fish tutorials, introduction missions, etc. after we're through the Tackle Academy, or how it's going to go. But yeah, that immediately struck me on seeing, like, beside the shop that the board that used to be there was gone. So I am curious how it's going developed from that. And we'll just wait around for a little bit longer and see what happens. I'm just going to bring it to there, and I'll keep it in the water and see if something does go after it after we've moved it a bit closer. It does seem a little strange that they do send you, like, pretty far out with this, like, being just taking you through the basic steps of the tutorial, because once this is complete, we're going to have to go all the way back, I think, just to hand it in. But it seems like my bad luck in this spot is carrying forward just because of the time it's taken us before we're having any interest hit our line. Let me try, see if I can get it right there. Maybe the trick is it has to be super close to us. Because the marker did take us basically to standing on the middle of a bridge. So I don't know if it's more thinking you're supposed to be catching underneath the bridge or just around it. Oh, well, there's a fish over there. Oh, yeah, I think that one right there is going... Oh, maybe not. Seems like it's gone right by where our thing is. So you can see some fish in the water as you're just trying to catch. Again, I can't remember if that was in the angler before or not. Or if it was just you would only see the one you would be, that would go to striking your lure or your setup. Okay, you know what? I'm going to reel this in and I'm going to try a different spot, because this is... me try closer to shore here and see. And you know what? I'm even going to go right down to the water's edge. Let's try and see if we have any luck here. I'm trying to remember all the steps of, like, the old tutorial for the angler. Because, like, if the game never let you know you could rent vehicles for free, and you were following right along for this, it doesn't tell you to go, like, call a vehicle, hop in, then drive to the location. It just says go to the location, so would you think you'd have to pay to rent a vehicle and, like, try bypassing that by walking, or... Because I'm pretty sure there used to be a little tutorial that would at least get you in the vehicle, drive to a spot, then come back, and that way you kind of learn, okay, these boards are where you pick up a free Jeep from, or by the docks where you can call a free boat in. Okay, maybe it's the bait I'm using, but I was expecting to have something else happening by now. So maybe we'll try a minnow instead. Oh, well, there was a pike. Not that we really want to be fighting one of them on the line, because I think most of our beginner gear is not going to be strong enough for a proper-sized pike. But yeah, it just seems like we're kind of stuck waiting for anything to go after our setup. There are fish around, but nothing yet. We'll just keep waiting, giving it time. That is how you got to play a fishing game, is just waiting them out. We'll just give it more time and see. I don't know if the thinking is it wants us more right underneath the bridge, we should have stayed on the bridge casting from that, or if there's a specific bait that we should have had equipped for it. No. Okay, now that's just kind of teasing us, having the fish literally jumping a little bit away from where our float is. Come on, something be in the area for us to be able to move along. And don't tell me that they changed the settings for the game that without thinking back to maybe hook size 10 is too small for the area. Who knows? We'll just have to keep waiting to see, but it's getting a little annoying to see fish jump into your front and your right and your left and just be waiting on them. And your far distance there. Oh, come on. I'll give it a little bit longer, and then we're going to bring it in, and I'm going to change spot. Yeah, you know what? Bring it right in. Like, is it really that I gotta be in a really specific spot for this to work for us? Or is it just a really bad case of luck right now? Or is my problem that I was changing the hook depth and the game didn't say specifically to be doing that? We'll give it a little bit of time here and see, and if we can't catch something, it does not bode well. I'm just going to see if there's anything specifics in there. No, it just says catch a fish with that, so you might. It's probably the thing, you don't even have to be around this spot to catch either. They just sent you out here to go and, I guess, do a little bit of exploring, maybe hit the Firewatch Tower or something, and then be here. But yeah, like, not getting anything right now is... Okay. Let me think of where... Yeah, I'm going to try further up here and seeing. Like, this is giving me flashbacks to how troublesome it was catching the whitefish, but here, we don't even have specific species we need to get. There we finally go. Oh, secure catch. That's... I don't remember that being something you had to do before. So that's a new aspect that wasn't in the game before. Okay, there we go. Okay, so all we gotta do now, I think, is, yeah, big fish, bigger hooks, etc. So now we need to go back into the menu there. And change this to be using a hook size of 7. And we'll put another minnow on there, because that seemed to work pretty well here. And just toggle our focus to be watching better. And waiting. Oh. It looks like the fish is... There we go. I was going to say, it looks like that got stuck, but I guess that was it just waiting to strike the line. But yeah, I don't remember ever having to, like, do the secure your catch thing as you got it close. I guess it's an idea of, like, you have to net it or land it. Okay, next class, you've learned about gear strength, hook sizes, and how to catch smaller, large fish. Use this, catch more fish. Basically, just catch 5 fish now. So, I'll see if I can quickly get... you know what? We'll probably have to do that next weekend, just because I don't want this video being too long with having the little crash that happens. So I'll just try to catch 1 fish, then we'll end the episode here for Call of the Wild, the Angler. Again, there are still a little bit of bumps in the beginning stages, and there are some things that again, I didn't realize you had to do before. Like, the secure catch, I really don't remember having to have done that, so I don't know if it was something new they added that fish of a certain size now require it, or it's just like a way to have the player be more involved with the fishing entirely. But we'll try to land what we can and see how we go, or how it goes from there. And what do we got? Not a walleye? It is a walleye, actually. That's actually one of the fish I catch, or, well, used to catch when I would go out fishing at my camp. We call them pickerel up around my area, but that was one of the new fish added from an update. But it's interesting to see that we already got a silver one of them. Okay. But that's a nice little high note to be able to end things up with, and we've gotten up to level 4 now. Okay, yeah, so you don't unlock any gear added to your backpack. It's all comes from the missions that we're getting all the equipment to be able to play around with and that, which I do think is a good thing. Lets the player try different techniques with a little bit more guidance to help them out. I do think it's a bit weird to send, like, for this one, to send you all the way out here, where there's nothing else really around for you. But I guess the little incentive or thinking was send the player out, they'll do a little bit of exploring to hit things like Lookout Tower, any of the trees that like you have to report. Well, that's one thing they didn't go more into, is like finding stuff to report like that. So yeah, it's a little bit weird with having the past experiences from the first tutorial that was present in the game. But I guess I do like the heavier focus of making sure the player understands all the fishing and how it goes through. It's smart considering the core gameplay loop is, again, a major fishing game. But we're going to end things right here for now. So, thank you guys very much for joining me on this episode of Call of the Wild the Angler. If you did like the video, be sure to give it a like. And if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure in the comments right down below. Until I see you all next video or episode, Anglers and Survivors, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy angling.